Some of it's been dramatised for the purposes here tonight, but please, we'd really appreciate it if you paid attention and watched the stories and listened carefully.
Now the police get involved, they refer me to safer in the home.
I didn't feel safe to stay in my home anymore, so I had to go to a refuge. The workers there put me on to safer in the home.
A counsellor put me on to safer in the home.
When I settle into new property, safer in the home helped me make it safe.
Safer in the home came to my house, and together we looked at how we could make my home safe again.
Steve from Protective Group came into the home and showed me how to make it safe. They installed sensor lights so I could tell when someone was approaching the house.
They rekeyed my garage and put a lock on my hot water service so it couldn't be tampered with.
They debugged my phone and they set up all my social media so that I could not be tracked and would be free from harassment.
It sounds really simple. Doesn't sound grand or life-changing, but it is life-changing. I feel safe, my kids feel safe. You can't put a price on that.
Because it's about your safety, it's about your confidence. You don't have to feel alone and you don't have to be afraid. I appreciated everything Safer in the Home did for me, and I can't express enough how grateful I am.
One time my father was with me when Safer in the Home visited me to check the upgrade. He was so grateful that me and my son would be safe, that we were not alone.
Student, and as she said in her story, she ended up being a victim of family violence in our country with absolutely no support whatsoever until her parents came out from Shanghai to stay with her briefly. But she was all alone. So the program, she really did believe that it supported her.
Yeah, and I think, Stephen, what really kind of struck me was one of the women talked about not only did she feel safer, but the impact on her children. So I know, we've spoken about that. Can you just share with, the group here what you've seen on the ground in terms of the real impact that the Safer in the Home program has?
Yeah, I think firstly because the four partners in our business, we are all ex-police, all Victorian police detectives. So in the early days, going back to the 80s and the 90s, we did see family violence, and 30 years or 20 years later, here we are. The impact of this program is huge. It empowers women and their children once again. It places them in charge of what happens and how things are handled, ultimately making the relevance of the perpetrator less and less. This program clearly allows women and children to not be removed from their homes and placed in motels and refuges. This keeps them safe. It also allows women and children to remain close to their friends, their family and their own community, which may well be part of a community such as this. Women and children that feel so scared to stay at home can now walk to the shops, take the kids to school and maintain the status quo. This program helps women return to the workforce and helps kids go to school. Children feel safer to go to school because they feel that they've had safety nets wrapped around them by the SalvationArmy. The Tech Safe Duress alarm we've designed is also another thing that we've been giving to kids to keep them safe when they walk to school. Across Australia, and I think everyone in the SalvationArmy is obviously well represented here, across Australia, the governments across this country and police child protection agencies are referring in sometimes 4 or 5 families a day across Australia into this program. The reason being, if we can't keep the children safe at home, should they even be remaining in that home? So just to finish, when you ask about the impact, one small girl spoke to Grant and myself at a job once, newly arrived immigrant family. She was about 7 years old. She was crying and she clung to her mother's hand and she said to us, "The police took my daddy away and they're going to take me away if you can't keep us safe." So that was the impact upon her. Another one Steve and myself went to in country Victoria, where a little boy, when we asked him, "What can we do to help you and what can we do to make you safer?" and he said, "You have done it." And I said, "Well, what was the option?" He said, "To live no longer." So it is very, very powerful, the response on the ground. There is no other program in this country or across the world that is achieving the objectives this program's achieving. It is a game changer, for sure.
哇，在我可以翻译之前，我感觉我自己都要哭了，真的是，这些故事真的是真实存在的，而且真的是让我们就是听了之后，真的感觉这心都真的是在疼。那像 Steve 讲的一样，这个项目的影响呢是巨大的。这个服务项目给妇女和儿童安全保障，让他们可以更好的了解和处理事情，最终达到让施暴者对他们的影响越来越小的这个目的。那么这个项目也可以让妇女和儿童可以继续的居住在自己的家里，而不是被安置在青年旅馆或者是其他的庇护所。他们还可以继续和他们的家人、社区以及他们熟悉的服务机构保持联系。妇女和儿童也不会再为居住在自己的家里而感到害怕。他们可以去他们常去的商店，孩子们可以继续回学校上学，继续他们正常的生活。这个项目可以帮助女性重新回到工作岗位，而不再依赖于社保来过生活，可以帮助孩子们感到他们可以安全的去学校上学，因为他们知道有救世军作为坚强的后盾来支持他们。TechSafe 这种警报设备也会让妇女和儿童感到更加安心，让他们可以安心的离开家里，去到他们想去的地方。同时呢，在全澳的范围内，儿童保护机构和警署也是大力支持这个服务项目的，因为这个服务项目可以让孩子们继续和自己的妈妈居住在一起。最近一个来自于新移民家庭的小女孩告诉我们，警察局已经把她的爸爸带走了。如果我们可以帮助到她的妈妈，她就可以继续和她的妈妈生活在一起。那还有一个小男孩告诉 Steve 说，如果没有安保小组及时的帮助他和他的妈妈，他可能也已经对他自己做出了一些可怕的事情，他可能已经自杀了，就是很 heartbreaking， 听到这些事情真的是很伤心。